Hi, welcome to Carolina Varsity's 2015 Week 7 look at South Mecklenburg traveling over to play Phillip with Berry. I'm Dale Ross.
And I'm the pet man, Matt Morrow. Berry's coming off the loss to Charlotte Catholic. South Meck's coming over with a big win over Harding. Key to victory for both teams. For South Meck, obviously, when you play Berry, you're going to see the spread offense where they throw the ball all over the place. So I think in this one, sometimes Berry throws it where you can't get pressure on the quarterback because they like screens and slants and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But the times that Berry's going to drop back to pass, catch, three-step drop, you got to get pressure on Digsby, the quarterback there. And they do play two quarterbacks. Number one, Digsby, and then there's another kid, number 14, comes in. He's more of a runner. He's very athletic, very slippery.
But he's injured right now. He didn't play.
He's injured?
He didn't play Friday night.
Okay.
From my understanding, he may not. I don't know. He may not play next week.
Okay. Well, if they lose him, then that makes Berry a little more predictable on offense. And for Berry, you've got to find a way to block that defensive line, especially those defensive ends. Big Zach Gilbert coming off the edge. You can't solo block him all game because he'll just destroy you.
Both ends can. Yep.
On the flip side, for South Meck, continue to be balanced in their offensive attack. Berry's very fast on the defensive side of the ball, running straight at them. Like you said with Catholic, they had some success stopping that run straight on. But as the game went on, they kind of couldn't hold in up there. And South Meck's got a pretty good offensive line. They got skilled guys that can make a difference. I think it can be a really good game if the weather's right. If Berry is playing with a dry ball instead of wet balls trying to throw it and catch it all over the place. They're tough to stop offensively. They're fast on defense. South Meck can't overlook these guys.
No.
Last year was 41-27 game, so it was competitive. I'd expect it to be competitive again this year. I think both teams are better than they were last year.
Without question.
Like you mentioned, the Berry coaching staff has done a good job, and I have a ton of respect for South Meck's coaching staff as well. So I think you're going to see a well-played game. Hopefully the elements will allow it to be a good football game. I think if it rains again, of course, that helps South Meck out. So because they tend to be a little more balanced offensively than Berry.
The problem for Berry is going to be, even if it's not raining, so the balls are dry. It's been raining all weekend. It's going to rain all week, and we both know the condition of that Berry field is horrible.
Yeah,
it's going to be like
a problem.
It's going to be like a skating rink out there, most likely.
Some schools have moved games to different venues because of that, but both of these guys have grass fields. So
if I'm Berry, I would personally, I would see if West Meck or Olympic have where their games are at. And let's look real quick. Olympics not at Olympics traveling.
West Meck's on the road also.
Yeah, so I would call West Meck and use their field.
Might be an option.
That's that has been. I know Olympic has done that with Aubrey Kell several times. Use that field. Coach White probably don't want to hear this, but Berry, you need every advantage you can get, and footing, footing being part of it. I believe if they can, if they don't slip and slide and they've got dry balls, Berry's going to be able to score. If I believe if I'm running that defense at South, I'd probably man and then put pressure like crazy. I'd bring 7. I'd bring 6. There'd be times I'd bring 7, but I'd man up. Depending on the formations that they're in, I might not bring 6, but definitely would bring 5. But put the pressure on. Let those defensive ends make things happen, and you're putting yourself into a situation where kids are going to have to be one-on-one and make defensive plays.
That's what I was going to say. If South Meck feels like they have the defensive backs to hang with, Curitan and Johnson, two big receivers for Berry. Excuse me, not Johnson, Roberts. I'm sorry, I got his name wrong. Those two have been their big playmakers on the outside for Berry. If South Meck can match up with those guys, then yeah, I agree with you.
Now, I'm not saying do that every down, but I think
Oh, yeah.
I'd have a lot of that. I'd have a lot of pressure. Make it difficult for him to throw the ball.
Mhm.
Kid's a tough ball player. I really like Digsby. And if he's not a quarterback, he's not a natural quarterback, but and that was explained to me many times Friday night. He's a tight end and he's having to play quarterback. But this game could be a very interesting ball game if conditions allow Berry to score. Like you say, on the flip side, Berry's had not just trouble this year, but throughout the history of the school, they do not do well against the run inside.
Right.
That play between the tackles has just not been good to a Berry. Teams that got a little bit of ability to block and hard runners, they usually get yards. Berry, just on the other hand, is potentially going to be able to score through the air. So it's going to be an interesting ball game. Might be the next best ball game in the city behind
it's on my short list, and I'll probably end up here. So if you see us, say hi.
Yeah.
It'd be good to see you guys. I've seen Barry earlier this year. That's only for halves. I hadn't seen South Meck yet, so I'll probably be there.
There you go. Well, thanks, guys. Hope the weather's good to you. Play safe.